The Simpsons is one of the most iconic television sitcoms of all time. This show has been on the air for over 30 years, portraying the life of a middle-class family. It holds the record as the longest-running animated sitcom, transcending mere entertainment to capture the hearts of its viewers with its astounding and eerily accurate predictions of the future. But is there more to The Simpsons than meets the eye? From political predictions to technological advancements, we will uncover the secrets behind the show's ability to stay ahead of its time. Are the creators of this celebrated sitcom truly able to predict the future? What actions did the animated sitcom take to spark nationwide protests and upset a sitting American president? How did this same program predict another American president? Join us as we dive into The Simpsons predictions for 2024 that will blow your mind. For over 3 decades, The Simpsons has captivated the hearts and minds of audiences worldwide, cementing its place as one of the most iconic animated television series in history. Created by Matt Groening and developed by James L. Brooks and Sam Simon, this groundbreaking show has left an indelible mark on popular culture, blending humor with satire and social commentary to create a timeless masterpiece. The Simpsons made history as one of the first mainstream cartoon TV shows for adults, depicting the dysfunctional Simpson family of parents Homer and Marge and their 3 children, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. The early seasons focused on Bart's mischievous antics and Homer's inept parenting. As the series progressed, later episodes expanded to parody American culture, society, politics, and television itself. The show developed a unique visual style and subversive satirical tone. The crudely drawn animation was because Groening submitted basic sketches to the studio, assuming they would clean up the animation, which they did not. This animation style eventually became iconic, significantly influencing future adult animation productions. The show embodied a realism uncommon in animations at the time. Their yellow skin and odd proportions allowed for visual gags and exaggerated motion. The use of bright colors brought Springfield to life, with the background used effectively to enact short gags and cultural references. Contrary to popular belief, The Simpsons was not always well received among the American audience. The crudely animated sitcom was brazen and ruffled some feathers, sparking controversy among parents, educators, and then-American President George H.W. Bush. As Bart Simpson became a breakout character, many parents and teachers saw him as a negative role model for children. The character talked back to authority, and parents were worried that children would mimic his rude attitude and misbehavior. Many groups campaigned to ban Bart Simpson shirts from schools, viewing the character as promoting problematic behaviors. The cartoonish violence and frank social commentary were unheard of in a prime-time animated series at the time. Without a doubt, The Simpsons flipped the wholesome sitcom formula on its head, as the family did not portray the loving, respectable nature of other sitcoms. Homer always failed in his parenting duties, Marge struggled to keep the peace, leaving their children unsupervised to roam. The show's depiction of religion also caused some controversy. For instance, Homer envisions heaven as a place where you can eat all the donuts you want. Some religious groups condemned The Simpsons' lack of family values. On the campaign trail in 1992, President George H.W. Bush bashed the show, saying that he planned for American families to be more like the Waltons and less like The Simpsons. The show's creators, however, saw this controversy as an honor. The fans also saw clever satire as it poked fun at middle-class American life. The ratings for this hit show continued to soar as they continued to hit a nerve, creating sharp cultural critiques. This has turned The Simpsons into one of the most iconic satires on TV. The Simpsons is not just known for its iconic satires, it is widely recognized for its uncanny ability to foresee and predict the future. Many notable predictions have left the world wondering about the show's ability to predict the future. In 1997, the episode titled The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson seems to foreshadow the tragic events of September 11, 2001. In this episode from the 9th season, the Simpson family embarks on a journey to retrieve their wrongfully parked car in New York City. During their visit, Bart holds up a magazine with the World Trade Center towers prominently featured on the cover. The magazine's title appears to read New York, with the number 9 positioned next to the towers, creating the illusion of 9/11. The episode makes references to terrorism and security, with some scenes depicting chaos and destruction in New York City. In a 2014 episode focused on the World Cup, a brief scene showed a match between Brazil and Germany. On the scoreboard, Germany had an unlikely 7 goals while Brazil had just 1. 4 years earlier, who could have imagined such a massive blowout between 2 football powerhouses? But then, in 2014, the prediction came eerily true. Fans were shocked when Germany delivered that exact 7-1 defeat against Brazil in the World Cup semi-finals. The Simpsons also seemed to call another big upset decades earlier. A 1990s episode showed the main character, Homer, holding up a sign wishing viewers to call now at a 900 number charge. Scribbled on the sign was the line, "Wins Boston Marathon." At the time, it seemed very unlikely that Apu Nahasapima, the Indian immigrant owner of the local Quickie Mart convenience store, would ever conquer such a major athletic event. But in 2013, fans were dumbfounded when a runner named Sundeep Singh won the Boston Marathon. Singh was an Indian American, just like Apu on the show. His upset victory at one of the world's premier marathons mirrored the prediction from The Simpsons years before. Another scenario is Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox. Back in 1998, a Simpsons episode showed Springfield Elementary School holding a film festival. The marquee read, "20th Century Fox presents the Simpson Film Festival." Under that, a sign that looked just like Mickey Mouse's head read, "A division of Walt Disney Company." This seemed to foretell Disney buying up Fox decades later. One of the most notable predictions came from an episode in 2000 titled, "Bart to the Future." Lisa Simpson is the President of the United States. She comments on fixing the nation's financial crisis, saying, "We inherited quite the budget crunch from President Trump." At the time, this was meant as an outlandish joke. The idea of bombastic real estate mogul Donald Trump ever becoming president seemed absurd. The reference to President Trump got some laughs as a spoof on Trump's oversized ego. But then, in 2016, the most unexpected thing happened. Donald Trump did mount a serious presidential campaign. Many Simpsons fans immediately remembered the episode predicting a Trump presidency 16 years earlier. As Trump gained momentum, winning primaries and debates, the Simpsons' predictions started feeling unsettling. When Trump clinched the Republican nomination in 2016, the clip of Lisa complaining about President Trump went viral. It seemed the once ridiculous satirical scenario imagined by The Simpsons was becoming very real. In November 2016, Trump won the election in a stunning political upset. The Simpsons' joke about Trump occupying the Oval Office had suddenly morphed into an astounding premonition. The show's writers played up the coincidence, posting clips of their Trump presidency prediction. Showrunner Al Jean remarked, "With this episode from 2000, we predicted that Donald Trump would be president. Back then, I thought it was a joke, but it turns out we were Nostradamus." But The Simpsons' prophecy about Trump's political rise didn't end there. A short scene in a 2015 episode titled Trumptastic Voyage showed a Trump campaign sign for the election in 2024. When Trump announced he would run for re-election in 2024, fans noted The Simpsons had predicted his continued political ambitions once again. Though meant as satirical jokes, these Simpsons references keep weirdly aligning with Trump's actual campaigns years later. In 2022, a clip from The Simpsons went viral on social media, with TikTok predicting that Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka will become president of the United States in 2028. In the clip, Bart opens his Tin Man costume, and a reference to the character reveals a red, white, and blue sticker that reads, "Ivanka 2028. Also, in the Bart to the Future episode, Lisa portrays America's first female president. While many people assumed the animation referred to Hillary Clinton, others have come to believe that the ascent of Kamala Harris is a validation of this prediction. It is well known that Kamala Harris is poised to take over from President Joe Biden. The Simpsons may have also correctly predicted the rise of robotics and artificial intelligence. Back in 1989, The Simpsons depicted animatronic robot workers building cars in auto plants. Today, robotic arms are a common sight in real manufacturing facilities. The show also featured robots performing tasks like airport luggage scanning, predicting AI security bots years before the Nightscope K5 rolled out. Each satirical robot portrayal proved prescient as similar technologies advanced. In a 1994 episode, the folks of Springfield gathered to welcome their new police drones. The robots prove incompetent, mistaking a child's toy car for a real vehicle. They utilized facial recognition only to mess up and chase after the wrong suspects. This spoof mirrored early real-world attempts at automated surveillance and AI-powered policing. In an early episode of The Simpsons, Lisa interacted with robotic librarians capable of answering questions. Today, chatbots use natural language processing to communicate and access vast data. Siri and Alexa may have started as a comedy plot on The Simpsons before becoming household AI helpers. It also foreshadowed the emergence of ChatGPT, which has gotten people more scared. Going back as early as the 1990s, The Simpsons began exploring the idea of virtual reality in several episodes. One notable example is Treehouse of Horror 6, where Homer enters a 3D realm through a virtual reality machine. While the depiction may seem crude by today's standards, it was a groundbreaking concept at the time and hinted at the possibilities of immersive digital experiences. Fast forward to the present day, and VR technology has become increasingly prevalent in the entertainment industry. From gaming to filmmaking, VR offers users a fully immersive experience unlike any other. The Simpsons, always ahead of its time, has continued to explore the potential of VR in more recent episodes, reflecting society's growing fascination with the technology. In the episode Holidays of Future Past, aired in 2011, The Simpsons presents a futuristic world where VR headsets have become ubiquitous. Characters use VR technology not only for entertainment but also for education, communication, and even therapy. This depiction mirrors the real-world trajectory of VR, where it is being utilized in various fields beyond gaming and entertainment. While this might seem like a mystical prediction, experts have stated that the early VR prototypes go back to the 1960s, with the capabilities of the technology expanding in the 1980s and 1990s. It is very well possible that the show creators have their hands on the pulse of early technology, enabling them to make accurate predictions. The show has also made predictions about the rise of hover cars and holograms, all of which are still in early development. Another eerie prediction was made in a 1998 episode where Homer and Marge go to a parenting expo and see a device that can translate baby babbling into adult speech. The couple happily anticipates using it to understand what their baby Maggie is trying to say. Over 20 years later, tech companies are developing real-life versions of AI baby translators. These apps analyze cries and attempts to decipher a baby's intentions and needs. The startups say parents can soon buy apps that decode baby talk. Although this technology has not been perfected, this aligns with actual innovation, giving The Simpsons a status like no other. Still speaking of predicting technology, The Simpsons revealed in a 1990 episode the ominous invention of using music for mind control. This twisted plotline anticipated advanced sound technology capable of affecting the brain. Today, scientists are studying how low-frequency sounds impact cognition and emotions. The U.S. military is also exploring acoustic weapons. While mind-controlling music is still fiction, neural audio manipulation has entered the realm of possibility. Before you assume that The Simpsons' prediction is only limited to politics and technological advancements, there has been evidence that the show has anticipated some pop culture moments. The show seems to have anticipated the release of Barbie movies in conjunction with significant real-world occurrences. The scene in the 1994 episode shows a TV program where anchor Kent Brockman addresses Lisa Simpson's campaign to make Barbie creators come out with a more feminist toy that empowers young girls. Then, in a typical whiplash-inducing pivot, Brockman concludes the segment by announcing that the president has been arrested. Nearly 30 years after this episode aired, the Barbie movie opened to much global fanfare, making $1.4 billion at the box office. In the same year, former U.S. President Donald Trump is in the middle of a legal battle. Trump faces over 34 felony charges of falsifying business records and his six-figure hush payments to a porn star and a former Playboy model. In a 1998 episode, villainous tycoon Hank Scorpio jokes about the stock market being up and the bond market being down. This line foreshadowed the dot-com bubble bursting in the early 2000s and the financial crisis that followed. During the dot-com boom of the late 90s, investors poured money into speculative internet stocks. The Simpsons spoofed this mania and hinted it was headed for a plunge. Sure enough, the bubble burst from 2000 to 2002 as many unprofitable tech stocks tanked. The show predicted more economic turbulence in 2010. An episode featured news anchors warning, "Economic crisis in Europe likely to affect U.S. economy." This foreshadowed the Greek debt crisis spreading financial contagion across Europe and overseas. Yet another unnerving prediction came in a 2000 episode. Marge pulls out a shirt that says, "I survived the 2008 economic collapse." This seemed to spookily allude to the U.S. housing and stock market crashes around 2008. Although The Simpsons didn't get every detail right about future recessions and market crashes, the writers smartly anticipated the unrealistic investment euphoria and system-wide risks that led to financial turmoil. These exaggerated satires have helped to spotlight the volatility of the global economy. The animated show also predicted some astounding apocalyptic events like the COVID-19 pandemic. As early as 1993, The Simpsons aired an episode titled Marge in Chains, in which a mysterious virus called the Osaka flu spread rapidly through Springfield, causing panic and quarantine measures. While the specifics differ from COVID-19, the episode's depiction of a contagious illness and its societal impact bears a striking resemblance to the events of the pandemic. Interestingly, the same way the show predicted the pandemic, it also predicted that the Earth would be swallowed up in a black hole, plus it predicted a coming zombie apocalypse and an EMP attack. Now that is a scary combination of predictions. The Simpsons has delved into topics ranging from sensationalism and political bias to corporate messaging and propaganda. The news media is a common target. The show depicts unethical tactics like fabricating stories, promoting hysteria, and pandering to get ratings. Episodes mock how the drive for eyeballs and ads undermines journalistic principles. The program honed in on media sensationalism long before today's heated culture wars. Various episodes reveal how easily fake news can spread, from rumors about lemon tree theft to viral videos of Bart's supposed death. Springfield residents eat up lies and misinformation without verifying sources. These absurd storylines highlight the dangerous power of misinformation decades before social media made it inescapable. Political bias in news coverage also takes a hit. Kent Brockman, Springfield's top anchor, transparently alters his reporting to support whatever position benefits his career at that moment. The Simpsons exaggerates the point but makes clear how corporate interests influence which narratives get platformed. The show even predicted how media consolidation would limit reporting diversity. A 1996 episode depicted the fictional entity Conglomo swallowing up all of Springfield's outlets and imposing corporate uniformity under the slogan, "We own you." This comedic bit unerringly foreshadowed the real-world narrowing of media control. The Simpsons satirizes how ads, trends, and peer pressure manipulate people's choices against their interests. From Buzz Cola to the latest overpriced toy, Springfield residents get suckered by manipulative marketing ploys. These absurd ads shine a light on the psychological tricks used to compel purchases. The writers mock society's overall susceptibility to propaganda. In one episode, alien overlords Kong and Kodos easily brainwash Springfield with an inane slogan, "Do as we say." The town blindly obeys, highlighting the eerie power of groupthink and demagoguery. By fusing real dynamics with humor, The Simpsons exposes the tactics that let influence campaigns flourish. Of course, even The Simpsons didn't get everything right. They predicted a Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas boxing rematch in an early 1990s episode, but that never materialized after Tyson's shocking loss to Douglas in real life. So, the show doesn't have a flawless track record, but its most noteworthy predictions still send chills down viewers' spines. There have been insinuations that The Simpsons employ psychics in its writing stage, or perhaps the writers are just extremely culturally aware. Others believe that it is just a string of coincidences and people are pulling on non-existent strings. Some reports have insinuated that the creator, Matt Groening, comes from a lineage of Freemasons and has displayed Masonic symbols himself. It is said that the show has referenced the Freemasons controlling society through episodes about the fictional Stonecutters Society. Some have even gone as far as to state that the predictions are a form of predictive programming to psychologically manipulate the public into accepting planned future events. Whatever you believe about The Simpsons, it is obvious that the show is a seminal animated sitcom that has managed to keep its finger on the pulse of emerging trends and technology. It has also done the unimaginable by airing for over 30 years. That alone makes the show a legacy sitcom. While not every outlandish joke on The Simpsons manifests into reality, we can acknowledge the show's ability to remain relevant in the culture. Thank you for watching another episode of Voyager. While you are still here, click on the video on your screen to see more mind-blowing videos like this one.